We are facing problems that transcend nations. These problems are life and death problems. They go to the root of the viability of the planet itself. To go to the solution of these problems, we cannot expect that this will be done by individual nations. What we need is some sort of federal world government, and the only problem is how we manage to do that.
Isaac Asimov, Saving the Earth for Humanity. Isaac Asimov was born in 1920 and died in 1992. He was a professor of biochemistry and the writer of about 500 published books and numerous articles and short stories. He is best known for his science fiction.
I had written an article on the greenhouse effect. It was a year-end article. They wanted me to pick out the most important scientific event of 1988. And I really thought that the most important scientific event of 1988 would only be recognized sometime in the future when you get a little perspective. But I thought that the most interesting scientific event of 1988 was the way everyone started speaking about the greenhouse effect just because there was a hot summer and a drought, when I had been talking about the greenhouse effect for 20 years at least. And there were other people who talked about it before I did. I mean, I didn't invent it. So I explained what was meant by the greenhouse effect, and I also explained that not only were we constantly pumping carbon dioxide into the atmosphere because we're burning fossil fuels, but we are chopping down the forests of the earth at a great rate. And the forests themselves are the most efficient consumers of carbon dioxide that there are on Earth. Therefore, when Brazil begins to cut down the rainforests of the Amazon, we are actually tampering with the climate of the Earth and with the very atmosphere that we breathe. So that under those circumstances, it is useless for Brazil to say that she can do what she wants. The rainforest doesn't belong to her. It belongs to humanity. She is merely the custodian of the rainforests. We are facing problems that transcend nations. You can go through the entire list of dangers that face humanity, and the very point of the whole thing is that they face humanity and not any one section of it. And these problems are life and death problems. They go to the root of the viability of the planet itself. And in order to solve these problems, we cannot expect that this will be done by individual nations. It is important that the world get together and be sufficiently a unit to face the problems which attack us as a unit. We have no difficulty applying this principle to the United States itself. When it comes to any facet of national life that rises above the parochial needs of cities and states, the federal government tells all the states what to do, and the federal government can do it because it consists of representatives from all the states. What we need is some sort of federal world government. Now the question is how we can possibly arrange this. Well, there are two ways in which this can be done: the carrot and the stick. Now the stick is the fear of danger, the fear of destruction. The stick is driving us to cooperation. But I always say, why try the stick alone? Why not the carrot as well? We need some other project so huge that it can only be done by all the nations of the world, something that would create something that all the nations could benefit from. And to me, the only candidate for it is this effort at space exploration. If we can build power stations in space, if we can use energy directly from the sun, convert it into microwaves and beaming down to the Earth, we would finally have energy free of geography, We wouldn't have coal that existed in some nations and not in others, oil in which some nations were rich and others were poor. Space would be equally reachable by all parts of the earth. The energy that came down would go as easily to one part of the earth as to another. I don't know if this will actually come about. I'm not any more idealistic than anyone else. I don't go around saying that human beings are going to love each other so much that they're going to set up a utopia. No. What I say is that if human beings have any sanity, enough sanity to fear the consequences of not doing it, and enough sanity to hope for the consequences of doing it, they will do it. But I can't guarantee that the human species will be sane. And if they are not, then we will probably destroy ourselves. We will certainly destroy civilization. We may destroy ourselves as a species.